Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to Friday, the sell-off day, August 1st. Welcome to another day, another live stream. Really glad that you're here. If you're here for the first time, welcome. My name is Tyler. I'm going to be navigating you through the wild world of day trading futures. It's going to be a good time, so stick around, hit the like button, subscribe, and learn something today. Ask questions, put something in the chat, say hi. I would love to know where you're streaming or where you're watching from. With that, if you would like to take your trading to the next level, you can do so by using the code DTJ, and that's going to give you anywhere from 30 to 70 to 80% off your next evaluation account. I got a new little feature on the bottom. You'll see it scrolling there on the bottom. It looks nice and pretty. Really proud of it. Put a lot of work into it. So all the information's there. If you have any questions about it, put them in the comments in the stream, and I will be happy to answer them. With that, let's do the favorite part of the morning. Let's just commit this time to the Lord. Let's ask for His blessing on our actions today. So, Father, we just commit ourselves to you. Lord, we fix our eyes upon you. We thank you that you are the author and the finisher of our faith. Father, we thank you that you are our provider, not the market. The market is by the means that you are providing for us today. And we just submit ourselves to you to follow your leadership, to follow your guidance, to follow your ways, Father. Lord, so we seek first your kingdom and your righteousness, and your promises is that everything else will be provided for us. So today, we commit ourselves to you. I pray a blessing over everyone here. Those that are just joining, may they encounter you greatly. May they see increase in their trading. May they be blessed in what they do. May they know that their presence here, that you are here, that you are in this room. In Jesus' name, we say yes and amen. Amen, amen. Good morning, everyone. Mary, Lawrence, Wilhelm, Elmo, or Emilio, Wendy, Matthew, Jose, Octavian, John, good morning. Shane, good morning. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. All right. Well, yesterday, I talked about a theory that I had. I didn't expect that theory to pan out so quickly, but it did. I figured that since it was the beginning of August with Trump's tariffs that he was pushing for at the beginning of August, we are going to see a sell-off. Well, folks, that's what we got here this morning. So let's go ahead and mark our levels out for the day. We have our previous day high, our previous day low. Honestly, I don't want to see price reach back up above or no higher than Wednesday's opening price. And quite frankly, I doubt we're going to get that. Here's the daily low for July 17th. We have our opening price down here. We have a volume imbalance down here. Oh, which, you know what? I can get rid of that. Forget that. And then really where I want to see price, is it going to reach all the way down here? That's crazy. From that weekly low. That weekly low is sitting right here. And that weekly low is significant because it is also a monthly fair value gap. So if we mark this high and that low, that is a monthly fair value gap. Boom. And that monthly happens to also be the weekly, which happens to also be this red line's low. So that is where I want price to move to. That's where I'm looking at. Also, we will want to mark out our monthly opening price right here. So we're going to mark that level there and do that the monthly opening price. We have a new monthly opening price. See how the monthly opening price was finding support here and then it moved off of it? Now we want to see this one find support. So I'm going to remove the previous month's price. Actually, you know what? I think I'm going to leave that on. Actually, no, I'm not. And the reason why is look how close that monthly low is to those relatively equal lows, or to that swing low. So I would use that swing low as priority over the monthly opening price. So we have those levels marked out now. We have our daily low sitting right here. Price could do pretty much anything at once. What is it going to do? I don't know. I want to participate in the sell off, but it seems like price always wants to sell off when I'm not trading. I guess if you want to trade Asia, if you want to trade the London session, I guess those are the opportunities to get those big moves. Give me 1 second. So let's drop down. We got about 5 minutes left, 6 minutes left. Let's drop down to the 4 hour. What is the 4 hour done? Well, we got some fair value gaps here, here. We got one here. We put in a order block, and we have another fair value gap potentially sitting right here. So a lot of expansion. It's the markets that I love to see. Dropping down to the hourly, we've already wicked up into wicked higher, closed lower. If I'm looking for a level, it's probably this hourly. This is London high sitting right here. We'll mark out London high. London low has been grabbed, and we're still just dropping here. Midnight open, we'll mark that out. So now that we got midnight open, we'll mark out our opening range gap, which we need to drop down to the 15-minute time frame for that. There's the opening range gap. Do I think we're going to fill that? I don't think so. I don't think so. As far as near target, this daily low from the 17th is going to be that daily, that lower, that target, that near low-hanging fruit objective, in my opinion. Let's look how ES is looking. ES is also sold off here. Yeah, we don't even have swing highs at 2 o'clock at London. It's just a straight drop. So if London is a picture of what happens in the New York session, then we should see a continued sell-off. My target from the on ES is going to be this weekly fair value gap sitting down here. That's going to overlap roughly with the monthly as well. Yeah. That's what I assumed. All right. 2 minutes till market opens. I think we got to get some type of reaction here. We have relatively equal highs right here. Good morning, everyone. DM, Tuan, downtrend won't stop till it hits at least negative 430 points. That's a very specific number. Biblical, well, I haven't back tested anything with 330, so I do 3 p.m. is my reversal. I did not do anything with 930 because it was a premium and we were just seeing a sell-off. Alrighty. What do we got for news today? News. Friday news, it's 8:30, and then we got PMI manufacturing at 10. We've already ran the news candles high and low, so nothing there that we can do. Okay, folks, the back and forth right here is what you want to stay away from. This is what we need to stay away from. See how much back and forth it is? And see how big these candles are? Let's let the market do its thing. Give it a second. Let it breathe. If the market dropped 400 points overnight, there's going to be another 50 points somewhere that we can get. So don't jump the gun. I don't like this big yellow box here, so I'm going to shrink it down here. It bothers me. All right, so there is our daily low being tagged right here. Let's see if we get any type of significant reaction to it. My guess is probably not, to be honest with you. We have a manipulation leg right here. Let's do one standard deviation. Let's see what potential targets we have. And if we jump up to a higher time frame, we can reach lower just to see where it is. So look where the 4 standard deviation lands. It lands in the new week opening gap right in the middle there. Right below all of these swing lows. That looks attractive. Here's the thing, you just can't jump in though. I mean, there is not an entry in this. Let me rephrase that. There's not an entry for me. I mean, these are big candles here, folks. This candle alone is 35 handles, 34 handles. That candle was 60 handles. How's everybody doing today? How is everybody's week? How is everybody's week? Is everybody managing and staying green for the week? At this point, I'm looking at liquidity here, folks. I'm just looking. This London low looks good. We'll drag that out. What low is this? That's 11. I mean, there's just. I'm not looking for any longs. I'm looking for a retracement so I can get in. Apparently that retracement was where vintage traders should have gotten in. It's okay. There'll be another trade. There'll be another opportunity. Lawrence, you got it. Break even's better than red. Small red is better than big red. Blowing one account is better than blowing 10 accounts in one day. Yeah, I know, guys. I know. Don't tell. I feel the same feeling. I want to be in this. I want to be in it. Sure. I mean, I guess you could try to put your stop at this high and then go short. But that's what happens. We could try. If this candle turned, no, I don't know. Right there, you could. No. Nope. No. Don't do it. Don't fall for it. Don't negotiate with yourself. Don't try to manipulate yourself. Just say no. That's what they say about drugs. That's what they should say about FOMOing into trades. Just say no. Just say no. I mean, that candle right there, if you went short, that candle there's 54 handles. Ouch. Oucharooskies. There's not a fair value gap in here for us to enter, so we can't do anything there. I'm not doing anything there. I mean, do you feel it? Can you sense the tug of war going on inside me? That was nice. I see that there. I probably still wouldn't have taken it though. Do you guys see that breaker? It was an immediate breaker. That means more than likely we're gonna reference this level again. Look at right there. There's the breaker. I didn't see it. I didn't see it to the tick. Orange Fan, did you take that trade? That's the question. That is the $1 million question. All right. Oh, I do a plan. The plan is it's selling off. And the plan is to wait for a retracement, and we just haven't gotten it. But even though we haven't gotten the retracement, as you see it run 125 points, it's just like, oh, that would have been nice. It'd have been nice. But I'm not taking anything. Maybe it's for dramatic effect since I'm on live stream. All right, there's the tag of the new week opening gap high. We also have our first presented fair value gap finally right here. We'll mark that out. Here's one standard deviation from this manipulation leg. I honestly think you could probably put a stop right here. You enter there, put your stop at that high. That's not bad. 16 handles. Something like that. That's what, when you see the market begin to sell off, see how it respects the previous highs. That's how you would basically play the continuation of it when we're not getting a pullback. The problem is when that pullback happens, it's like that. It's big. It's aggressive. No, I'm not waiting for the retest. I'm just noting it. You got to remember that even though there's opportunities to make money here, or we may be missing, we're also exercising another muscle that is more valuable in the long run, and that is learning to not chase, learning or remaining patient, remaining steadfast on the plan. All of those muscles are very important for you to be successful long term. This is just 1 day's worth of trading, right? So 1 day's worth of trading, is it worth violating the muscle memory you're trying to create by remaining patient, remaining steadfast, following the plan, following the rules? So we're getting something out of this. Even though it feels bad, it hurts, we're getting something out of it. And that reminds me, something I wanted to share with you guys, the video. How many of you guys watched the video, how to win the mental game of trading? It talks about the one rule, the most important rule that you need to have, having a max daily loss. How many of you have watched that video, or how many of you have heard me talk about that? I want to talk about something very specific on that. See, we would have had 50 points and 2 handles right there. Okay, so the whole idea, I was thinking about that even more just a couple days ago, actually, and it dawned on me, right? You're going to have 2 feelings towards that max daily loss. Number 1, you're going to hate it because it's going to require you to stop trading. Or you're going to love it because it saved you from losing hundreds or thousands of dollars, right? However, that's not true. You're only going to hate that feeling. You're only going to hate that rule. Why? Because if you follow the rule, you'll never have those $1,000, $10,000 day losses. You'll never have them. So you'll never be grateful for it because they would have never happened. So the only feeling you're going to have with that max daily loss is a negative feeling of having to stop trading. And what you'll never see is the amount of money you save as a result of following that rule. The only time you actually love the max daily loss is when you didn't respect it. When you go, oh man, I really wish I would have respected my max daily loss. That would have been really nice right now. You see what I mean? It's already happened. It's already happened. And now the feeling of respecting it would have been really nice because it would have avoided these negative feelings that I'm feeling right now. But as you follow that rule, as you follow the rule, guess what? You will never experience. You'll never experience that feeling of, man, I wish I would have respected it. It's only going to be, I have to stop trading. because I know that it could end in something worse. So it only results in negative feelings. However, if you can understand and kind of trick yourself into realizing that I'm actually saving myself hundreds, maybe thousands of dollars by doing this, you actually can make it easier to follow. Because the only feeling you'll really ever experience with a max daily loss is that negative feeling of it. It's the strongest feeling you'll feel towards it. You're never going to be like, oh, thank you for that max daily loss when you hit it. Very rarely will that happen. So, just some thoughts on that. Here's our London low sitting down here. We're running right towards it. Here's something that we can do right here. We can take a short there if it gives it to us, or there if it gives it to us. We had a push higher and we put in a green candle. Now it's a confirmed order block. If we can get price to just kind of come right up to here, this would be a nice entry for continuation. We just need to make sure there's a target down here for us to hit. Yes, Chris. It is a untagged London low. And I'm only going to do a single micro. The volume, the size on this is too big. I don't want to increase my risk. So I'm only doing a single micro. Because the reality is if we get to here, that's still a 30-point loss if it hits. Because that's where your stop would have to be, is at this high. Let's make sure we haven't hit anything, any liquidity points. No, just a giant green candle here on the hourly. I'm not going to take it right off. I'm going to wait for a swing high or a swing low. Or excuse me, a swing high to form. Meaning I need to see another candle not make a higher high. Because I don't want it to just keep doing that. That's what I don't want to have happen. So what we wait for is it to hit our level, get a swing low or swing high put in. Meaning a lower high on each side of the high. And then we can take that entry to potentially move lower. So we're not taking the trade here. If this candle closes below there, that can be an entry. Your stop is still going to be 40 handles. And because it went above this, I'm not interested in these levels anymore. Now we would have to look at this turning into an order block. Yes, KI, I do. It's called the Purpose Driven Trader Academy. All right, I'm going to take one contract right here. London low is going to be my target at 804. Let's see if we can get it. Now that I'm looking at this new week opening gap low, I'm second guessing my decision here. But I am currently in the trade, so I'm going to do a standard 20-point stop loss, so 84. All right, so I have a stop loss in here. I'm not willing to put my stop at that high. I don't want to take a 40-point loss, so I just have a 20. We'll see if it wants to play out. It's not looking good. Nope. Lost one on the day. News in 5 minutes. The hardest part about days like these is you gotta give yourself a bigger stop loss. You have to. This is the order block right here. It was already confirmed. No, did we? No, we couldn't have hit the monthly open because I have monthly open marked out, don't I? Where's my monthly open price? No way. Did we really hit monthly open? I'm gonna be mad. No, we didn't. Monthly open's way down here. Oh, no, we did. Why is that on my thing? Why don't I have that on here? I wish I had that. I thought oh no, you are right. I took that off, didn't I? I took that off my screen, didn't I? Because I wanted this swing low here. I said I would rather go for that swing low. Lesson learned on my part, folks. Lesson learned. That was July monthly opening price. I would have not taken that trade if I had that on my chart. And I removed it. John, I can't. I'm time based. I won't do that. It's just a completely different trading style that I'm not going to do. It can work, I'm sure, but whatever you commit to, you need to commit to it. So I've committed. Is it a failed order block? No, it's officially failed when we run through that high. I'm assuming you're talking about these two up close candles here, 950 and 951. I mentioned that you should have your stop loss at the high, but I just wasn't willing to take a 40 handle stop. Yeah, this is the daily low right here. That is a daily low. Right there. Here's 10 a.m. news. Manufacturing, I believe. Yeah, PMI manufacturing. So what would be your approach to the order block or don't do anything? Well, we had news. That's the big thing. The news candle kind of throws things off a little bit, but this still respected. I just wasn't willing to take a 40 handle stop loss. So my risk parameters were too tight for me to properly have this. And as a result, I got stopped out, but the play played out. Does that make sense? I'm going to run for this London low, I think, here. If we get a little bit of a push right here. Right to London low. All right, took that right at the London low there. I should clarify, I closed a trade right at London low there. That was just a momentum trade that I did with the expectation that London low was going to be tagged. It's pretty obvious it was right there. Yes, London lows from days back. If we go to the hourly, right there. London low, 3 a.m., July 14th. We got a swing. There's just a lot of liquidity down here. I mean, I'm not looking for any type of long right now. There'll be a point for a long, but I need to see all of this stuff grabbed. Maybe it's now. I don't know. But London low was tagged, and that's where I sold a little contract. Yeah, they're tough, Liam. They really are tough. Because you want to play the reversal, but really your best bet is to play the continuation. And when you play the continuation, you need to get on the retracement. So I wanted to get in on this retracement here, but I wanted a swing high to form. We violated that order block, and then we closed below this, so it changed my whole direction. And then I got in here when then for 4 minutes it runs against me. So my stop was just, I wasn't willing to take a 40 handle stop loss because that's how much that would have been. I would have had to have a 45, 40, 50 handle stop loss. So I just wasn't willing to do that. So very, very difficult, and they're not super common, these trend days. So you can't really practice in them as much. It's more difficult to practice in them. And you can't really back test them or you can't use TradingView's replay feature because you don't get to experience the live candle. That 1 minute gyrating candle up and down in between when it opens and when it closes, because that is where the mental game takes place. So it is admittedly difficult unless you already know and are like, you know what, it's going, I'm getting in here, I'm going to hit sell, and I'm going to close my eyes and walk away. That's basically what you'd have to do. Now here is a order block entry. You can take this London, if you don't think London low is the low and you think it could run lower, you can play this inversion. It's our first inversion to the downside that we could actually play. I take that back. There's one right here. But we tapped into that fair value gap, and if we make a new high right here, then we're watching this inversion fair value gap right here to run to these highs. I'm not a fan of inversions, but sometimes in this market you have to use the inversion. We have a volume imbalance right here that it has to close above. And that's 20 points from where it's at right now to that high. That's a 20 point. ES doesn't have to hit London low. It just needs to hit a low. Did it hit this low? No, it didn't. All right, folks, let's hit 75 likes and we'll do our daily affirmation. Our daily affirmation. There's our close. If you think it's going to run that high, that would be your entry. I don't like how large this fair value gap is because that's my risk for a very small trade. I'm not going to take that. It did play out. We just hit target right there. So that would have been a 20-point, roughly 20-point trade. I'm not willing to put that risk on the table for that. You know what? I know I probably sound counterintuitive because I'm willing to take, let's say, this trade. And I took this trade here, but I'm not willing to take this trade here. I think I'm being more logical in this. This was probably not as logical. This was a break of the plan, put together a new plan, took the trade, wasn't willing to take a loss. So a combination of I'm still taking the trade, but I wanted to have good risk parameters. So I did a tighter stop loss, which I shouldn't have, and it played out nicely. But I didn't take the trade. I ended up taking a loss on that. Here we have now a breaker to the upside. I'm okay with ES not grabbing this low. We have an 15-minute fair value gap right here. I think I'm willing to take a long right here. I think that's where I'll take my long. If we can get down here before we hit this 15-minute fair value gap and we can reach down into this level here, I'll take it to that 15-minute fair value gap. But if I'm not taking it right now. This is the Nasdaq. If I can get into this fair value gap, I'll take a long if we don't hit this. I doubt it. It doesn't look like it's going to work in our favor, but that's crazy. It didn't hit that 15-minute fair value gap. $26 seconds before that candle closes. And this is also a 5-minute. There's our first. Okay, when this closes, if we get a flash of a candle, I will take that flash because this is a new candle. First thing that we get is manipulation on the opening of a candle. So I'm not opposed to taking, once we get down here, if it gives it to us, to take that long. All right, so there's the tag of the 15-minute fair value gap. So that idea that I wanted is not there anymore. I wanted to use the untapped 15-minute fair value gap as my target. It doesn't mean that we can't go higher. It just, that initial, what I wanted to see did not happen. So while we have this drop that we've had happen, what we need to now do is put in our tag our high and our low and find out where the midpoint is. So this is midpoint. Let's see what happens when price hits that equilibrium. This is 50% of the range. So any longs would have needed to be down here towards that midpoint. Now that we're up here, I'm not as interested in taking a long because I want to take the long in discount, not in premium. Now, we could do that same concept based on this higher range, right? You could say, well, Tyler, why can't we find the equilibrium from this high to this low down here? And the answer is you can, and you should, to find out what the retracement range could be on a higher time frame. So it would be right where that consolidation is. I was about to point at my screen because I'm thinking like you're looking over my shoulder, but you can't see me doing that. So this would be the midpoint of this entire drop, which happens to be where the monthly opening price is. So monthly opening price is probably going to be retagged at some point tomorrow, next week, the week after, sometime this month, but that monthly price will be tagged. That's what I would expect at some point. Now, the thing is, guys, as you watch this, what you'll learn is sometimes I'll be analyzing the market wrong, okay? And I'll take trades with the expectation that it should play out, but it doesn't. So look at that candle there. See how it closed red after we went in here, okay? Doji candle, push higher, close red. We should see something like this. But when you're analyzing the market wrong and it's wrong multiple times and you've taken trades multiple times, you got to call it a day. And this is an area of growth for me that I'm growing in. Is when I'm analyzing the market wrong, I got to close the charts and I got to walk away despite the market being amazing, despite it just like the volatility, the low resistance liquidity being amazing. Sometimes you just still got to walk away. And so I don't want to make those types of poor decisions, but they do at times. It happens. All right, while we're sitting here, it's 10:20. Let's jump and let's do our daily affirmation here real quick. Let's take a look at that. Here's our daily affirmation for August 1st. It's a new month. His mercies are fresh. His grace is enough. And new opportunities are already unfolding. I step forward in faith, expectant and ready. Okay? I'm expectant. I step forward in faith. I walk into this month with fresh eyes, fresh ears, fresh expectation for the impossible to take place in my life, for growth to take place in my life. I am optimistic. I anticipate the future unfolding in a bold new way in front of me. This is how we posture our hearts, with expectation. With expectation. Posture your hearts today with great expectation that what you desire can actually happen. All right, so see how we're closing through that midpoint? Now we're looking at this level there. Actually, the risk here is not that big. From this order block to there, that's only 12 handles. That's only 20 handles. That's actually not bad for a long. I just don't like being in premium. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm showing you guys stuff on the screen and I'm not sharing it. Sorry, Liam. I'm reminding myself that patience is something that is developed over time. It is a necessary muscle that needs to be exercised. And right now, we are exercising it. We took 2 trades. First was a loss. Second was a momentum trade. We took 2 trades, but still, we're not taking everything that we see. I pointed out a 20 handle win for you guys, and I didn't take it. I'm going to take. I'm not going to take. You see how I'm second guessing? I'm kind of going back and forth right now. The thing is, Liam, you can't trade scared. You can't trade scared because you're going to get out scared. You're going to get out prematurely when the market is still showing that it could drop in your favor or go higher in your favor. I'm going to wait till 10:45. So I got another 20 minutes before I take another trade. Yep. So if you're feeling that way, the best answer is to wait until you get the confidence that you in what you see. You know, if you see something you like, that's what you take. We'll get something. The market's moving nicely. a common but good statement there, Rad Trader. Scared money don't make money. Ooh, that scared me. I thought that was locked. All right, so let's mark this EQ level that we marked out. Let's mark out where 70% is. 60 is right here, that green line. And then let's mark out 70. 0.5. This is if we're going to see a reversal back down, this is where we want to see it. And it's right in that 50. It's right around that first presented fair value gap. So this is 60%. And then this is 70%. It's not exactly. The actual numbers are different. So the actual number is 62%. That's 62%, and that's 70.5%. So if we're going to see a reversal or a continuation lower, where do we want to see it happen? In here. If we get above these levels, the odds of it being a reversal is not as high. It's common for price to retrace 50 to 60, 70% and then continue in the other direction, or continue in the direction initially was going. So that's what we're watching right now, is we're using a Fibonacci retracement tool anchored from that high to that low, and we find out where the midpoint was, where 60%, 62% is, and 70%. Magnus, I don't have one. I don't have one right now. I would say lower, but when you got such big ranges, my trades, I don't take 200-point trades. I don't take 200-point trades from the opening price, which I never marked. From the opening price, we've dropped 286 points. So yes, I have a bias for lower prices, but even if I took a long, all I got to get is 10 to 20 to 50 points. And there's so much opportunity in that. We just have to be so patient and wait for the right one. I like that. See how it's respecting? I like the expansion into this first fair value gap right here. Remember that breaker that I mentioned to you guys that we tagged briefly? We're going to keep an eye on that. $10:30 right now, waiting till 10:45 to 11 o'clock. Guys, I don't have it on my chart or down here, but Funded Next Futures, it's an affiliate or a prop firm that I do have discounts for. I'm gonna show you guys. They're doing a promotion right now. BF, what's up, my friend? All right, inside that previous or first presented fair value gap. All right, guys, take a look. Funded Next Futures is another prop firm that I have participated in. It's a one-time fee. There's no activation fee, monthly fees, 24 hours for payouts. You are allowed news trading. Some of the things they have, there's no time limits. You also get rewards. Okay, so for example, 15% reward from challenges. So you're gonna get 15% from your you're gonna get 15% payout for your reward challenges. In other words, if you pass your eval and get into a funded status and you request a payout, they'll pay you a bonus, which replaces the cost of the evaluation account. So you, in other words, could trade for free, and it's really inexpensive right now. I think they're $50 about. So just FYI if you're interested in those. Still tracking this breaker right here. It's also where there's a swing high. I would like to see it come up into that and get some displacement. And maybe we can get a retracement from there. Dirk Tooley, that is Funded Next Futures. You can use the code DTJ and you'll get a nice discount on that. It's also down in the description of this video. Yes, Nicolo. But when you got a trend like this, when you got a nice strong trend, I wouldn't necessarily use it right there. I'm using it as a reference to find out where price wants to go. If we break through it, I'm not just to buy a wick, but if we break through it and then find support and continue, that's when I would look at taking it. Can I make a video on every prop firm? Yeah, I can. The strategies are still the same. Do I ever make a trade based mainly on real life news? Taven, that I said it yesterday, that Trump was instituting his tariffs of 25 and 15% on India and China today, and that we should see a sell-off. So I use real news to get an idea of what potentially could happen, and then I look for my analysis, I look for my models to line up with that idea. In this case, I wanted to see lower prices, but we really weren't given anything here. It was given up here. And the only thing that it was given was right here, and I missed it. I missed the retracement into this breaker. And so I didn't take it. That would have been a nice entry. That would have been a very nice entry. I didn't see it. Missed it. My K-Light. Yeah, I'm on X. For those of you that don't know, follow on X if you want. Tyler, in your opinion, what is the best prop firm for beginners? It would be nice if you make a video about that. The best prop firm for beginners, meaning the likelihood of you passing the account right away, is Apex. Apex has no rules on their evaluation accounts, and they're typically the least expensive when it comes to just the evaluation account. So I'll do a video on the best prop firms for beginners. I like the title of that. I'll do that today. I've been wanting something to do. Let me write that. Does anybody else have any great titles. That's a great title. I like it. How to get funded for beginners. Not bad. All right, see how the 5 minute came down? We tapped this 5 minute fair value gap right here. Small little one. Okay, I like that 5 minute tap. That would have been a BISI. And what about a 15 minute? No 15 minute. So we still have this 15 minute fair value gap right here that is going to be created. What I like is the idea of a new 15 minute candle, it dropping into this fair value gap and then pushing higher into that breaker. That's the idea that I would want to play. Okay? So the idea now is putting in a 15 minute candle here, closing in 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and then we drop lower into this 15 minute fair value gap, and then we find support to move higher and we take a long from that. So if that's the case, we drop down to the 5 minute. There's no 5 minute fair value gaps in here. So we need to go down to the 1 minute, and there's no 1 minute fair value gaps in here. That sucks. There's nothing clear in here. There's this swing low right here. That's really the only thing we would have, is that swing low. I have live account as well. Yeah. Brokers for trading, Trade-of-8. I like Trade-of-8. Yes, you can. I don't know about Rhythmic, Octavian, but I know for Trade-of-8 you can. I use an Apex copier. Dev, I don't know if Apex works in India. I'm assuming it does. I have no idea. I'm in America. Can anybody else speak to that? Lyrics, if you're going to trade prop firms and live capital, I would use Trade-of-8. I have both my accounts there. It's just easier. I don't have different places to go. It's all in Trade-of-8. And their commissions are really low anyway. All right, so we got a 15-minute candle. Did we drop into this 15-minute fair value gap? The answer is no. So I'm not looking at that long yet. Jeez. Do you see what I mean, guys? It's like I just don't feel comfortable. I just don't feel comfortable right now. And I have to get what I want if I'm gonna participate. No, it should be able to work for anybody. Mayo, I'll have to look into that. That's news to me. I want to fix that immediately because that shouldn't be the case. Let me see if I can give a different code. Let me see if I can give a link for you to use. Let's see here. And just do me a favor, try it. I want to see if it works. Here, try this link right here. Okay, try that. Tell me if it works if you use that. Not because I want you to use it. I want to fix the problem that it seems to be presenting here. That's for Funded Next Futures. I will tell you, Devin, Funded Next Futures is a great one for outside of the country because they're based in, I believe, they're based in London. UAE. Sometimes, Jerry. Typically, I would like to get off around 11:15, 11:30. But sometimes, if there hasn't been a clean setup, I'll wait for noon to see if noon presents the trade setup that I want because there's a noon macro as well. I do connect to TradingView to trade. So I use TradingView because I like the platform for my analysis. All right, so we tapped into the 15-minute fair value gap right here. Now it's from this 15-minute fair value gap. If we get an inversion to the upside, I'm probably going to take that trade, and hopefully it should be within our macro time. Jason, it says it needs to be their first. I'm reading it right now. It says it needs to be their first purchase with Funded Next. So if you've purchased before, apparently it won't work. You know what, honestly, I think I might take a small long right here. Knowing how price has been going up and down, up and down, up and down, I'm gonna take a long here. And I'm gonna put that here. Just to see if we get that in my direction here. Let's do that. Mm, 58. 38 is 20. I'm not gonna go any more than that. I probably need to go more because we're inside that fair value gap. 31. All right, that's the low end of it. Let's see if it holds. Doesn't look like it. Oh. Nope. Folks, that's 2 losses, 1 win. I don't think I want to trade anymore. I'm just not on it. Just not on it for me today. Was that probably somewhat impulsive? Probably. The reason why I justified it is we were getting all this back and forth, the ups and downs, that I did not want to take the long here and then it run against me again before it goes higher. So I was like, well, let's take it inside of here and then have it run longer so the retracement is still in profit. It didn't work. It didn't work. Why not set stops? Really, my risk tolerance. These larger trend days are very difficult. The larger candle days are admittedly difficult for me because I don't like taking lots of risk. I really don't. I mean, that was a 30 handle stop loss. That was a 30 handle stop loss. It was really large. Thank you, Vintage Trader. That's a good one. Yeah, for sure. I mean, you need to place it in the right spot. So the way you can get around to do both of it is don't take your entry until your standard risk is at a point where you can handle till it's at like a swing low or swing high. I want to take this short right here. I think this is going to be my last trade. Let's see if this actually goes in my favor right here towards this low. No, it's not on the screen. It's just helping my psychology a little bit more. All right, gonna sell one there. Might close this other one here. I don't like the two green candles, but it looks good for a drop. I'm going to set my stop at break even here and just see if this plays out. Then we hit a 5-minute fair value gap. I might close that. I'm going to close the trade for 25 handles. We hit a 5-minute fair value gap. I do think we go back higher, so that's why I closed it. The last 5-minute fair value gap was sitting right here, and we filled it. That was nice. That brought me back just about to break even. Sorry, I didn't want to put it on there. Mentally, it helped me just be more sure of myself. I'm just being transparent with you guys. I'll show you the trade now. You can see the executions. Executions are right here. So I went short here and here. I sold one at the low, and then I sold one down here once I realized that we were hitting a 5-minute fair value gap. Those were the two trades. This was the loss that I took for that long. Now, all these trades are all copied on copied accounts. So it's on 10 different accounts. So that $34 is $340. That loss is $520 instead of just $50. So it might look small here, but it's just to keep my mental game in check by doing small size on an account and then build it up over time. So 2 for 2 or 2 for 4. 2 wins, 2 losses. What do you do, Tyler? You don't do anything when they're not being respected. It's consolidation. So this would be the part where we potentially could get that price movement all the way back up. We mitigated all of the price levels here. There's no more 30-minute. There's no more hourly. We have an hourly BISI right here. 15-minute has not closed. We could easily see an expansion back up to this direction here. So what I would want to see is a failure swing. So I want to see an attempt to try to make a new low, it fail, and then start moving higher. I don't know. I'm kind of just sitting here. Inside, in my head, I'm saying to myself that I probably shouldn't take any more trades. Accept the loss for the day. It's small. I don't know why 2 of my accounts aren't trading. But that's what it looks like right there. So red on the day. Yeah, I think it's going to slow down for for the rest of the morning session. I think I'm going to be done. I might check the charts at 1 o'clock New York Standard Time, see if anything happens. But I think I'm going to accept the loss for today so far. Get off for a bit of time. Respect the market that I have not been reading it very clearly today. I mean, in general, yes, but as far as where my entries should be, I haven't. So acknowledging that, recognizing that, and being able to walk away is, I think, important. We also have a breaker right here that we tapped. So it's kind of seek and destroy-ish. It's just kind of going back and forth. I mean, it looks nice, but it's not easy by any means. I know what easy feels like. I know what easy feels like, and this isn't easy. So with that, guys, we're going to call it a day. Use the code DTJ. For those that tried on the funded, did anybody try the Funded Next Futures account and do that for the first time with the code that I gave? I'm gonna try to figure that out, because this is the first for me to hear that it's not working. I would do it if I could. They don't allow you to use your own code when you purchase something. So I'm not able to do it. Has anybody not purchased one before but is thinking about doing it? That's what I'm asking. You don't need, if it's not you, that's fine. I don't want to make somebody do something that they don't want to do. I'm just interested in seeing if I can figure it out why. I can try to probably call support and see what's going on. I'm going to close those accounts. All right, guys, we'll call it a day here. If you want to connect further, find me on X or find me in the Discord if you're in the Discord. So God bless, guys. Stay safe, and we will see you all next week. Take care.